Hi everyone, Success Coach Michelle Weimer here with this week's Masterful Mindset. So our thought this week is, when writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. So today we're going to talk about those underlying stories that sneak up into our everyday language. My question for you would be, how do those stories affect your life? And who wrote those stories for you? And when I talk about the sneaky stories, I'm talking about those subconscious messages. Maybe we don't always recognize or identify. Maybe we use languaging like, oh, I just can't get it right. Where does that come from? Who really wrote that story in your life? And the big question is, are you ready to take back the pen? So, over the course of the last few weeks, I've been speaking to several people about their life stories because this has been a topic that we've been working on. And so many of them have expressed to me that, they don't think their story is too bad, right? They don't tell a horrible story. And of course, every story has ups and downs, it has high points and low points. And of course, that's okay, right? That's part of life. It's not always full of, butterflies and unicorns. Sometimes life is tough. But it doesn't take long during the course of our conversation for me to be able to identify some of the words that they're using that come from the subconscious story that is sneaking up into their lives and really holding them back. So today I want to quickly give you an example of how the words that we speak are what we come to believe, and they come from our subconscious a lot of times. And not only are they what we believe, but then they become our reality. So we're going to take Susie Q, okay? And she tells her story as growing up in a pretty normal family. She's a hard worker, but she's also super hard on herself. And for some reason, she just can't figure out why she won't launch, or why she's not getting to the point where she launches her new business. She wants to launch this new business. We've been working together for a while, and she knows that she wants it to be perfect. She wants it to be just right before she launches it. So she keeps stalling, really, is what it boils down to. And so we start to talk about her life story, and she tells me that, she learned at an early age that you have to give your best all the time, and that when she was growing up, her best was rarely good enough. She had a mother that was well-meaning, but when Susie was looking for approval, when she was proud of herself and she, wanted to talk to her mom about something that she had done that she thought was pretty good, her mom would always say, well, yeah, but you could have done it like this, or you should have done it like this. And so the underlying message that she received growing up was that your best is never good enough, and unless it's perfect, it's not enough. You're not enough. And this was the message that she received. This is the subconscious story that was written at a very early age for her. And so consequently, for Susie, she lives out her life as not just wanting to be a high achiever, because, it's great to want to be a high achiever and do really good things in life, but she is an overachiever. And what I mean by that is she's always trying to overdo. She's always pushing herself beyond her limits. As I said before a few minutes ago, she doesn't want to launch her new business until everything's perfect. And she's also always seeking approval from other people. But what's interesting is her need for approval. It's so deep, it's from that need that she never got fulfilled from her mom as a child, which was approval that your best is good enough, right? That you are enough. And so consequently, she's very hard on herself, and her best is never enough. She seeks approval from other people, but where she really needs approval is from herself, because she is so very hard on herself. The point that I want to make today is really that it doesn't take a big dramatic or traumatic story to create limiting beliefs in our head. Sometimes it's just these small subconscious stories that are created that are not always written by other people. Sometimes they are written by ourselves, but often throughout our childhood or throughout experiences that we have in life and how we perceive them at a very early age. And here's the thing, at a very early age means we were probably at a place in our lives where we just couldn't process that information to realize that, digging deeper into Susie's story, her mom's need to always push her was really her mom's story, right? And it was from something deep within her. But we don't realize that, and that becomes our story, right? Because we've let somebody else write that for us. So my challenge for you today is to read between the lines of the life story that you wrote through the eyes of the child in you, okay? Because if you are not, if you're not able to rewrite that piece and heal that inner child and those subconscious stories, they're going to keep sneaking up again, and that's what they do. And if you didn't write your life story, then I would encourage you to go back to last week's Masterful Mindset Action Challenge and start there. But then again, read that story and look for maybe some unconscious or subconscious patterns. You may not see them, you may not identify them, but as you start to read it through the eyes of that inner child of yours, you're going to go, oh yeah, so this is why I always say these things about myself, or this is maybe why I'm so hard on myself. Like Susie, super, super hard on herself. She, her best is never good enough. And no matter how much she achieves, she never sees it as success, right? So she's very hard on herself. She's an overachiever and she's a people pleaser. She wants others' approval because she never approves of herself, right? So read through those stories of your own. Look for those sneaky stories that are creeping up in your life, and then decide right now that you're going to take the pen back and you're going to rewrite those life stories. You're going to rewrite those sneaky subconscious stories that are self-sabotaging you and holding you back from being able to create the life that you really want. And I know this is hard, okay? I've heard from several of you like, I don't know, this is hard. I don't get this, or I don't think my story is that bad. And again, your story might not be like that bad. Some people have a very traumatic story, and that's difficult to deal with as well. It's not just subconscious; it's real life for them. But whatever the case is for you, if you find that you're struggling, then I want to encourage you to join me at the intensive training that I'm doing this summer. I'm hosting a retreat in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's going to be just an amazing experience and life-changing, I really believe, for so many people who have gotten stuck in their story and they're so ready to rewrite it so that they can really release all those old beliefs and receive the good that is available to them, so they can create their best life and so they can really show up as their best selves. So if you want to know more about that, you can go to michelleweimer.com. That's MICHELLEWEIMER.com / it's a little this way / retreat. Okay, so look that up, check it out, and I would love for you to join me, especially if you're finding it difficult to rewrite those stories or to really grasp the sneaky stories that are creeping up in your subconscious. So until next time, this is Success Coach Michelle Weimer, and goodbye for now.